A historic day for Texas A&M Corpus Christi as they celebrated in signing to purchase a building located in downtown Corpus Christi. The 5-story building on North Chaparral Street was built in 1947 and was purchased for $2.3 million. The university plans to have an art gallery installed for the building, as well as using the space for public-facing university programs and archives. But first, some construction will be taking place.
Right now we're going through and updating some of the infrastructure. All of it's very functional, but we want to update it before we move everybody in, and we'll start each floor adding and building. And so we'll be inviting the public in as each floor gets finished and really getting exciting things happening as soon as possible.
She also commented that the art gallery will be named after the building's previous owners, Ernest Buzz and Jeanette Maxwell.